So today I'm going to embark on a new project. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but just now getting around to it. I've got all the lights in my RV changed over to LEDs. You know, like all these and stuff are LEDs, you know, nice and bright. But one thing I haven't done yet is dealing with these fluorescent tubes. And they're just never bright enough. I mean, it looks bright on the phone, but even most of the time, actually, I drive around with the bezels off so I can get just a little bit more light out of them. So I think it helps a little bit, but evidently using this little meter I got, evidently it makes very little difference. So that's a little experiment I'm going to try to do. So I've been doing some research and come across these lights, which are, I guess what's a little bit unique about them is they're 50 by 50 millimeters. And it's 5000K. I like that real bright color. But what's unique is the fact it has 384 lumens per foot. So it gives you a whole lot of light in a short area. So I'm thinking if I can go with 4 strips inside of these fixtures, I should have at least more than what I'm getting out with the 2 fluorescent bulbs. That's my assumption. I don't know for sure, so I'm just going to do one fixture and see how it turns out. So to test my theory, I guess I need to undo that other light. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the bulbs out of the last fixture, leave only the center one, use my meter here to see how much light output it gives me. And it's 9 o'clock at night, so it's nice and dark outside. And then once I do that, if I see the lux numbers increase quite a bit, I'll know I'm on the right track. So let's do a little test. Okay, start of the test. I've only got one light on in the whole RV. And that's the 2 fluorescent bulbs. And by the light meter, and that's the app is called Light Meter. If you want to download it, it's a pretty cool app. So I've got a number of 176. So I'll leave it right in that same spot as I think I'll add 4 strips to it. And I'll see what kind of numbers come up. And hopefully we'll have a bigger number that I'll know I'm on the right track. So if you're curious, this is what it looks like when you take down a light fixture. Leaves you a nice big hole in your ceiling. And here's the trim plate. Just made of like styrofoam or something. Very, very lightweight. Only held up with 4 little screws. Just kind of held in, goes into that Luan material. So don't take a whole lot to hold it, I guess. So I'm getting started little by little, trying to get a plan of attack. Because I don't want all these pieces parts, the light holders, the ballast and all that is riveted in place. So I don't want to destroy my light fixture and drill out all these rivets and stuff before I know for sure this is going to work. So I'm going to just leave the ballast and all that stuff in there, mount me 4 of these strips, and see what kind of lumens or what that meter tells me, the lux, what it tells me. And hopefully it'll be more than what we had to begin with. So that is my plan. But now I just got to get these little connectors on there. I've used these before and it can be somewhat of a pain to make the connection, so I'll be dealing with that for a little bit and then we'll get a test going. Well, I'm about to make my first test run with just one fixture to see if I'm going to get more or less light running 4 strips of these LEDs inside the fixture. Voice is about shot from a cold. But I was going to show you a little bit. This stuff's really easy to work with. You get it unroll it, and you can cut it about every 2 inches or so. You'll see a place where you can cut it with scissors. And you buy these little connectors. You just slide on there, snap it closed. It makes connection, and you have your 2 positive and negative wire to hook to. And when you do that, it'll look like this. So I've got 4 of them. I've come out here, tied them together. So I'm going to put this fixture up there by itself, get my lux meter going, and see what the numbers are now from what it was previously. And see, this comes with like a peel and stick tape on the back, but I've read where it doesn't stay stuck very long. It'll come loose. So that's why I've got these little copper wires in here just to hold them in place. If it works, and then what I'll do, I'll get me some two-sided tape, run me some strips of two-sided tape, then stick the light strips to that, so I know they won't come loose. Something good and strong. So let's get this mounted and see what the numbers tell us. Okay, so I've put the LEDs up, and this is only one and only light fixture on, and the whole RV. Everything else is out. But what an amazing difference in the light output. Before, with the two fluorescents, I remember I was getting 176 lux. Now look at my numbers. Getting up to 480. It's incredible. And it's a really nice light. I like it. Things are so much brighter. And that's just one. Imagine I get the other two in here. I think this is going to be a great update. Next thing I'm kind of curious is what the amp draw is with four of those. I'm assuming it's not going to be much, but I will take it down and put it in a lot better, so it won't, the sticky stuff won't be coming loose, and do the other two fixtures the same way. Measure same amp draws and see how the project comes along. But I do believe I'm going to like it. Okay, so now I've got my meter hooked up, and I'm going to measure the amp draw on the LEDs. Get my wires hooked up here. Alright, now check that out. I've got 4 strips of LEDs. All that bright light is only taking 1.39 amps. So now I'm going to hook up the old fluorescent bulbs and measure the amp draw on that, do a comparison. Okay, got the fluorescent bulbs up in here and get my tester in the right spot. We'll see how it does. Yep, hook up the right wire might help. There we go. Okay, fluorescent bulbs up and running. Okay, it's pulling 2.11 amps, which I was kind of surprised. I thought it might be more than that. But still, but what a difference in light. That's such a low amount of light compared to what the LEDs. I'm getting more than twice the light output on LEDs with less amperage, which means a lot when you're boondocking and rely on your batteries to keep things lit up. So, well, I was curious, and now I know. Alright, on to putting all this back together. Okay, for my next step, I'm going to drill out these rivets, because you got the little plastic holders. So I've drilled that one out already. It's loose, but I've got one hand. And there's 2 rivets that hold the ballast in. So I'll drill these out. I got me a 7/32 drill bit. It's working out real well. So I'll drill those out, get the hardware out of it, and see about putting the lights on. Well, that little project sure does make a mess, because you can see where I drilled the rivets out. Metal shavings everywhere. Don't tell my wife I did this, so I stay in trouble. But here, anyway, so now that all this will lift up out of the way, and now I can clean this up and have a nice reflective surface to put my light strips in. But I got to get me some two-sided tape first before I do that. And I just got to do that to this and 2 more light fixtures, and I'll be on my way to LED everywhere. Cool. Well, I brought the project indoors. My voice is still shot because it's getting cold. It's in the 20s tonight. So I was going to show you, these are the lights that I ordered off Amazon. Something else to keep in mind is when you get your little connectors, because as you splice these, you have to have these connectors. Make sure you get 10 millimeter, not 8 millimeter, because 8 millimeter will not work. Don't ask me how I know that, but I do. And also, after I ordered them, they sent me an email giving me tips on how to mount them and stuff. And one thing they said, if you're mounting these upside down, which these will be mounted upside down, not to rely on the adhesive that's on the back. You peel this blue stuff off, and it does have some stickiness to the back side. But they said it won't hold if you're mounting upside down. And they recommended to use clear silicone caulk. So that's what I got here, some liquid nails, clear silicone. And I've put 3 down so far, and all I do, I just pull this little strip off and run me a bead and smooth it out nice and lay it down in here. And you can see I put an extra mount around the connector because I want them things to stay put, not be wiggling around. So I just got 1 more to put in. It's pretty easy going. And I just got 2 more fixtures to finish up. And we'll see how this all turns out. Hopefully I'll get my voice back. Well, I've got them all 3 wired up and ready to put back in the RV. I've been watching a couple videos after I started this project where other people have done the same thing. But I noticed some people they usually just ran 2 strips of LEDs, where I ran 4 because I want plenty of light. And I've also noticed some people have got the LEDs where, I think they're the smaller ones, they're not the 50 by 50s, they're a little bit smaller LEDs. And also, some of them are buying the LEDs that are weatherproof. They've got that like a silicone coating over them so you can stick them outside. Of course, this being inside, you wouldn't need that, and I'm assuming it probably hinders some of the light. And pardon my voice, it's still shot. And you can see kind of close up here how I've put my silicone in there to hold my connections nice and tight. And I'll kick it on here just to see what it looks like. There it goes. Because the phone automatically adjusts. Let me turn up the lights too. Okay. And here, of course, that's the ceiling here inside the house. It makes it pure white. So I'm kind of curious how it's going to be in the RV. So we'll find out shortly, as soon as the sun goes down. Okay, this video shot is going to try to do a before and after. Okay, so we've only got the 2 lights on. Okay, here we go as after. The LEDs are installed. I don't know how well it'll show up on camera, because camera may be compensating for the light. It may not look a whole lot of difference, hope it does. But one thing it doesn't lie is the amount of lux, the meter. See, I'm getting 506 now. Where before with the fluorescent tubes, I was only getting, what was it, like 173. So the light in here is just awesome, and it's not blinding, you know. So I like the color because it matches all the other bulbs that I've put in too. Over the years, I've got all these other ones changed out to LEDs, and everything is crisp and sharp, and I can see. I like it very much. So I think this is going to be a good mod. I like it. And I was going to show an example here, because this is my little desk where I usually sit at and do my paperwork when we're on the road. And now with this lighting, I mean, the words just jump off the page. It is so bright. Makes a big difference. Before, I had to have this light up here to help me see anything, because the fluorescent bulbs just weren't enough to give me the light I needed. So there's a good example of what enough LEDs will do for you. Looks great, looks great. Oh, and to recap, the total cost of this project, because I only needed one roll, about 2 rolls, but only needed one 16-foot roll, and I did 3 fixtures. Let me get this other one turned on. Here we go. Now I got all 3 turned on. See how bright everything is in here. And this is, 9 o'clock at night. Pitch black outside. But each row was $24.99 for this particular. There's the model number lights that I got. And I think the little connectors was $7.99. So a little over 30 bucks. And now I can see much better. So if I've done it, you can do it too. Thanks for watching.